Things Fall Apart, chapter 14, page 107. Our teachings tonight will be taken from Things Fall Apart, chapter 14, page 107. An elderly man called Uchendu began to advise a young prosperous man called Okonkwo, who has just been banished from his village, Omofia, for committing murder unknowingly. And so Okonkwo was in grief. Okonkwo was in pain. Okonkwo was in regret of life. And so Uchendu, like an elder, began to speak to the young man. In page 107, Uchendu speaking. He says, "You think you are the greatest sufferer in the world. Do you know that men are sometimes banished for life? Do you know that men sometimes lose all their yams and even their children? I had 6 wives once. I have none now except that young girl who knows not her right from her left. Do you know how many children I have buried? Children I begot in my youth and strength. 22. I did not hang myself, and I am still alive. If you think you are the greatest sufferer in the world, ask my daughter Akweni. How many twins she has born and thrown away? Have you not heard the song they sang when a woman dies? For whom is it well with? For whom is it well with? There is no one for whom it is well with." Now, this is a man called Uchendu advising a young prosperous man called Okonkwo. Okonkwo was a man who came out from a poor family lineage. His father left no inheritance for him. He began life by borrowing seed yams. But he was working never to be like his father. In fact, a time came as young as he was, he already became one of the most prosperous men in his clan. He had 3 wives. He had bands of yam, and unfortunately, life circumstances knocked on his door, and he killed somebody unknowingly in a burial event. And so he was banished, sabotaging his long-time dream of becoming one of the highest lord in Omofia by taking the 4th and the highest title in the clan. Now he has been banished, cutting his expectation short. So he ran for exile in his mother's place, but he was living in regret. His face every day was bitter. He was grieved. This was not how life is supposed to treat me. I have toiled. I have input all resources I'm supposed to do. I have done everything humanly right. Life is just unfairly unfair to me. And a man called Uchendu, an elder who have seen what this young man have seen repeatedly, began to advise him. He says, "Do you think you are the greatest sufferer in the whole world? Do you know that men sometimes are banished for life from their village? Do you know that men sometimes lose all their yams? Yams is like all a man's money in the olden days." He says, "and even their children." He says, "I once had 6 wives. This man standing here, I once have 6 wives here in this house, all alive." He says, "Today, I have only but 1 little girl. All the other 5 are dead." He asked Okonkwo, he says, "Do you know how many of my children I have buried?" He says, "I have buried 22 of my children. Children I begat in the strength of my youth." He says, "You think you are the greatest sufferer on earth?" He says, "Ask my daughter. How many twins she has given birth to and it has been thrown away." Pause. I began this message because of our youth who says they are suffering depression. Your suffering of depression is because of too much of expectation. Our ancestors understand that life offers us things we are not prepared for. So we prepare for the unprepared. In the game of life, circumstances can hit us. Anything we have that we value with all our life, we can lose it at any point of time. Challenges of life can knock upon our door at any moment of life. It's not anything. This is just how nature is designed to work. To chisel some flesh out of the man and make the man mortal. And make the man strong. Nature always targets where our happiness is. To tempt us. I don't know. I'm speaking this to a young man who just began business. And all of a sudden you are scammed. Now you felt frustrated. You are moving from one level for that church crusade down to no, sir. You don't need to pray. Life only challenged you. It's time to buckle up and take responsibility. Nothing spiritual about it. I know you finished marrying the wife died. I understand. Listening to Uchendu says, I had 6 wives. He says only one. The last one is still alive. That one doesn't even know her left from her right. A small girl. He says, if you think you are the greatest sufferer on earth, he says, I begat 22 children. I don't know how many of your child that have died that is breaking your heart. That's your favorite son, you lost him. Or your favorite daughter, you lost him. It's causing you pain. Look at the testimony of men. That you are developing depression today is because Christianity has put in you over expectation. That the expectation of the righteous shall not be cut. The best way to live a fulfilled life is to live in the now. Don't live in expectation. Expectation births disappointment. If you don't expect, you cannot be disappointed. The reason why you are disappointed in that guy is because you expected much from him. Come to me without expectation, I will never break your heart. You expect much in life. You think life is a place where what you put is exactly what you get. That's not the efficient. Sometimes you put 100% and you receive 70%. Sometimes you put 100% and you will receive 300%. Minus gambling. Please, if you are putting your hand in bet Niger or forex trading, this teaching is not for you. I'm talking about people that are approaching life genuinely, but the things is too hard. I'm talking about people that are approaching life. You just entered into a marriage with all the sincerity of your heart with this young lady. 6 months after, all her wicked character came out in full. This young lady have not even given you a son. She divorced. It's all right. You can start again. He says, do you think you are the greatest sufferer on earth? I once have 6 wives. None is alive now. Go to village and ask your grandmother. Tell me history of experiential knowledge of motherhood. She will narrate to you how many of her child she buried. Go and make inquiries in the village. What is making you heartbroken is people's track record. I remember when I was in this room, the first time I was scammed, $1,000 $1,000 inside this room. I did a video and posted on my WhatsApp where I was singing, this sound was playing in the background. Inozikome, 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 Inozikome. That time I just starting my business new. I'm not even strong yet. Somebody just came with one business idea. I put $1,000. That time dollars at the rate of 800 or 700. I lost 750,000 naira one day. I nearly died. I'm telling you true life story. My remedy in this house was tom-tom. I don't take alcohol. I don't take cigarettes. But tom-tom always keep my heart hot. My roommates here can give testimony. But today, that money is no more anything to me. Life offers those things we are not prepared for. Many people died few minutes before the result is. Few minutes before your testimony come, the worst evil you will commit on earth is to give up. If you want to give up this night too. Die, take acid and die this night. The world will continue. The young boy that stole my money here, about 200 something thousand, and ran away when I was starting POS. The young boy is still suffering now. I'm doing more better than him. Assuming I killed myself then or committed suicide, what would have been my fate now? You think you are the greatest sufferer on earth? Go and ask my daughter. It says, my daughter gave birth to 2 minute twins and they were thrown away. You think you are the greatest sufferer on earth? It says, ask how many of my children I buried. A man with his wife that buried 22 kids. What again is remaining for the man to see? Man has been chiseled out. What do you think you have seen that people have not seen? What? Things fall apart, chapter 14, verse 107. It was telling you to be strong. I know you did more. You carried all your business money and did visa. You didn't even see your visa agent again. The whole money is squandered. I agree, but be strong. Life is chiseling you. Life is. Ask any successful man. Every successful man on earth have this track record. Every successful man on earth have this history. Ask anybody. If you have never come to a point in your life where your business began to shake, where you begin to lose it all, you have no testimony. Bidobe. You will still lose that money. You will still, no matter how careful you are, a time must come when life will shake you. You will lose money. You will be terribly shaken, but be resolute. Join me in African Renaissance where I will coach you. Chisel love out of you. Chisel expectation out of you. Put conscience in you. Make you a man and pursue Jesus Christ in our land because Jesus Christ is the biggest animal in world existence.